In the news update, part 3 for April 27th, 2018. Friday. Yeah, as I was saying, if you have a waste of money with the HUD part, that's what I was saying on the third story or second story, it's going to cause a lot of money to be wasted. And if you want to save money, the best way to do is to turn these apartments over in less than 30 months or less. 30 days or less. And yeah, you were right, Mr. Piper. You were right, George Piper. You were right. You did come in December. I was wrong. I thought you came in January for some reason. But you're right. You did come on December 9th. I had to check my notes. I liked how you looked at me and smiled when you said that. And yeah, there was a break-in in here. Everybody thought I was crazy about that, but there was a break-in in here, and you even made noted that at the meeting. I think, truthfully, that a lot of things need a lot of improvement here still. I think Janine and Joe have done the best they can, but I think there's still a lot more yet that needs to be done here on this grounds here and as operating of these apartments. Um, um, to me, I think the sidewalks are unsightly. All the buildings need to be power washed. Uh, the asphalt out front needs to be resurfaced. It's all a bunch of cracks and weeds and grass growing through it everywhere you look on both sides, because I walk around here all the time. And I see that, and the sidewalks are very unsafe to walk on. That's why a lot of kids walk out in the street. And I asked people, why do they walk out in the street? And I figured it was because, maybe somebody was saying something about me, because there have been rumors going on around here about me, but it wasn't that. It's because the sidewalks are so unsafe and unleveled. That's why people walk out in the street to get away from so they don't fall, because there's cracks in them. And of course, out in the street, it's not so bad, but the asphalt out there is cracking too, and there's weeds growing through it too. And but I think this place overall is still a great place to live, even though it has some of these things that are wrong with it. It's not dangerous. The apartments are built really well. They're constructed very well. I think they do need to work on the lighting in here on both sides, because both sides have some lighting issues, as we talked about in the meeting. And I think that all the lights need to be looked at. I think there may be some water getting into the lights behind the lights because the way they were installed. And I think that may be what blew the light bulbs out. They weren't the wrong bulbs for the lights that they used. No, they were the right ones. It's just that I think there's something wrong with the light, or either some water's getting in there up behind it. That may be what's blowing the bulbs too. So I don't really know. A gutter over here in Building 4 needs to be fixed. When the tree fell on the building, they fixed the shingles and everything, but they didn't yet fix the gutter. When we had that bad storm that hit us about 2 or 3 years ago, they still haven't fixed the gutter on the building. So the gutter just kind of leaks everywhere on that side and leaks all down the building and all, and that could cause other problems later on to this building. So in our building, Building 4. But, I hope they fix that gutter, because it's a nice place. And I hope they trim the tree back off the roof of the building so the raccoons don't get in the attic and eat their way through the ceiling to get into the attic. And because they get in the tree and jump down on the roof because it's over top. So hopefully they can trim the branches back away from the roof, because when the wind's blowing, they sort of drag on the roof really, really hard. And they make a lot of unsightly sounds, and that can't be good for the shingles and everything up there when you have a real gusty type of wind when they're rubbing up against the roof. Because these are big branches. We're not talking about, little sticks. We're talking about shrubs. Like branches, like trunk branches. There's a tree over top of this place. And I like the tree to still be out there. It don't need to be cut down. I like it. But we need to trim it back away from the building a little bit. So that you won't have problems with raccoons in the wintertime and other animals trying to get in there through the attic. Because that's how they do it. They gain access that way, by jumping off the tree and getting on the roof and eating their way in somewhere up there. That's how they get in the attic in the wintertime. But anyway, that's what I see out here at a glance. And of course the hallways, they do need to be cleaned because they are dirty. And I say this to be honest, because I'm being honest, because I want this place to be better. I'm like you. I'm with you, Mr. George Piper. I think you're a wonderful guy, a good representative, and I really do think it's a great place. But like I say, people, when you hear this stuff, if you come to this channel and you hear this place is a good place to live. There's a lot of nice, good people in it. The grounds are generally good. There's just some maintenance problems. There's some things that need to be taken care of, but it's not all Janine and Joe's fault. Now, I don't really talk to Janine or Joe all that much, so I don't really know what's going on as far as that goes with the maintenance and all this stuff. But there's rumor that they have a petition going on, and of course, I'm not a part of it, and I won't sign it because I don't think that way. That I don't think Joe and Janine are bad people. I think they're okay. I don't really talk to them all that much. I don't really see them. But I hear a lot of things what people say all the time about them all across the place. Like you heard in me, and I hear that every day from many tenants here, good and bad things. And it seems like the women seem like they have a problem with him, or he has a problem with women. I don't know what the story is on that. That's what a lot of tenants tell me. Being here day in and day out, that's what they've discussed with me. But I don't know. I haven't seen that because I've seen Joe be nice to women in the open, out there talking to them and stuff. He's really nice to women. I've seen him do that. So I haven't really seen him do anything mean or anything to them. But if anyone comes to anybody's apartment without knocking, that should be a no-no. They should not come into anyone's apartment unless they knock. I mean, he's always come to my apartment and always knocked before he came in. But entering someone's apartment without doing that, that's a no-no for anybody. And I don't know if Joe is really doing that or not. But if he is, then he needs to stop that immediately because that's unacceptable. But I don't know if he's really doing that stuff or not. I mean, I think he's a good guy. I think he's educated. I think he does need to get off that phone a lot because I've seen him on the phone a lot too. But so I don't think the women are making that up. But he needs to do his job more because that's what he's here to get to do. And I don't say he's not doing it, but I don't really know, George. I don't know. But the thing is, I think, it's a great place to live. I've always said that. The only people that I've talked about mainly on here, just like I told you, George, is just the people that cause me problems. And of course, these things are just general maintenance that need to be taken care of that have just been either overlooked or they just haven't had the money to address it yet. Or, I don't know what the situation is, because I don't work in the office. So I don't see the data and I don't know what kind of funding or what kind of cash they have free to do things here in their budget, in their yearly calendar budget. Because, as all these things are based on budgets and all that. But, I think Mr. Robinson definitely, to go on to, since we're talking about HUD, I think, they should put these people to work that aren't considered to be disabled. I think he's on to something, because that's a waste of money to have people getting welfare and them getting a break when yet they could go to work and make extra money. And, that would help the economy, and it also would help them to make money and be able to take care of their apartment better. And also they would be able to have more money to do things too, instead of complaining and having to get into a life of crime, or some kind of thing of that nature to supplement their income or drugs. They could just go out and actually honestly do a job. I think it's a good thing. I think Mr. Johnson's on to something, but I think he needs to work on it because they're afraid that other people will be homeless. Well, that's the whole idea. If they were working, they wouldn't be homeless. Now, would they? Because if they're not disabled and they're not elderly, retired elderly age, then they don't need to be sitting there drawing on money and getting a check and not doing nothing if they're able to still work. I think they make a valid point. I'm from a generation where you worked. I've been working since I was 13 years old. So believe me, I know what it is to work. And believe me, if I had a job, even with my vision being, I'm legally blind. But even if I had a job, I would work because I like to work and I like to make money too. Truthfully. Because I can, an education I have, I can go work and make good money doing what I do. So, I don't have a problem with working. If the job's available where I can work, because I can do it out of my home, do telecommuting, I'd do that. I would love to do that. Honestly. Be a dream. But anyway, but that's what I see when I walk around here. But I think Johnson's on to something. And honestly, I like this place. I don't want it just to be good, like George put it. I want it to be better. Because this place is a good place. There's a lot of nice people in it. I have a lot of grandmas and grandpas in here. I look out. We have neighbors that look out for each other. I look out for John. I watch out for Kathy. I watch out for Miriam Tate. I look out for all these people in here. I look out for Mr. Thomas. And I even look out for the other barber that's up here. I mean, they're nice people if you meet them. You got to meet these people. They're really, really good characters. Most of them that live here. They have lots of stories to tell. And and that's just in this one building. But we're talking about 9 other buildings. So, like I've always said, you got to come over here and meet the people because, there might be some people that are bad, but they're bad everywhere you go. You got some weirdos everywhere you go. They're always up in your face and in your business some. But, 90% of the other people are good. And the ones that are causing riffraff, well, eventually they'll get their walk-in papers. They'll get their eviction papers. Hopefully. They should. I mean, I hear that a girl moved over there that used to live over here on the other side that was giving me trouble. And she's over there on the other side. She's already blew up on 2 people in the laundromat to where they got upset. That was yesterday or the day before after Mr. Piper left here. After she got into it and verbally attacked Kathy, she verbally also attacked 2 other people in the laundromat the same day or the day after, cursing at them really bad to the point where they were upset they had to run home to their apartment because they were so crying and so upset. And then she got into an altercation with somebody over there in her building where she lives, from what I understand. And that, she's already well on her way. And she hasn't been out of here. She hasn't moved out of here for 2 weeks, and she's already starting stuff over there on the other side. So, you can't say that she's not doing stuff and that, all this stuff that I did was my fault and that I did it, because she did stuff to me. And that's, she really did a lot of these things. The same things that are happening with these ladies is a lot what she did to me. And since now that I'm not her target now, the people like that always have to find somebody else to pick on. And that's kind of what Barbara Poe is doing. She's finding other people to pick on. And people like that are problematic. They always are like that. And that's kind of what she's doing, And, they have to manipulate and lie. And this is kind of more of the same stuff that I seen when she was all over here, when she was doing all this stuff to me. Now she's doing it to other tenants that aren't even over here. They're over on the other side, upsetting other people and getting in a cussing at them really bad in the laundromat and yelling and arguing with other people over there where she lives over on the other side. So, like I said, it's more of the same stuff. That's what I had to deal with. That's exactly, Janine, what I'm talking about. It's what I had to deal with here. It's the same stuff what they're dealing with, what's going on over there now. So, do you believe what she's telling you? I hope you might want to reevaluate that. I think you really should. But anyway, but like I'm saying, but it's just, crazy stuff. It's a crazy world we live in. I mean, I feel sorry for her. Like I've always said, I hope she gets the help that she needs. But I don't think Harbor Square is really the place for her. I think she needs to be in a home or probably in a special place. There they should get some medication. And if she's not on her medication, if she's on medication, she's not taking it right. Because that's why she's lashing out at everybody, or she needs to be on medication, either one, be put on something. I think she needs a psychological evaluation, totally done on her, a workup. And I think, they'll find out that she has problems and they will definitely put her on medication. That's part of her therapy and treatment because of what we're seeing here. She just moved over there and she's already getting into fights with other people. Verbal, altercations with other people already. So, and it hasn't even been 2 weeks yet. So, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. But anyway, I'm just, that's what I'm hearing from the tenants around here, and they don't like it. And then I hear this rumor that they got 50 signatures on a petition that's going around that they're trying to get rid of Miss Janine Brown and Joe, the maintenance man. They want them both fired. Now, I don't know anything about that. I'm not a part of that. I can't confirm this. I can't deny it. But it is the rumor, and it is what it is. And it is truly what's going on. That's what was been circulated around here. That's the latest intel that we have so far. But I'm not a part of it. I'm not mixed up in it. I'm not doing any of this stuff. So don't even try to even use that, Miss Linda Price, because you're lying. That's why you're a lawyer. So don't try to say, because I'm not mixed up in any of this. I'm just reporting what people have shared with me to share with people that watch YouTube, because it is what's going on over here. It's the story, and it's part of the story. So, but like I say, I don't know if all this is true or not. I hope not. I don't, like I said, I don't have anything bad to say about Janine. I don't like what she did to me, but, other than that, I thought we were good. I thought we were a good team until all this happened. All these weird new developments. And with Miriam just being scared of me, I don't know what all that is either. She's scared of me now and don't want to have nothing to do with me. Like I'm a deviant or something, or she don't want to have nothing to do with me. It's all of a sudden she's scared of me, don't want to talk to me now. That's a new development. It just happened within the last couple days. But up before that, she was talking to me last week and the week before that, and everything was fine. So I don't know what happened there. But like I said, and then why did she call the police 12 hours later? Why didn't she call the police that night? That's the other question I like to ask. When she called the police and said I was knocking on her windows and saying all this stuff about what she's wearing, that was all lies. And she knows it too. She was hallucinating. So I wasn't out there. She's got me mixed up. Danny did that stuff to her, said stuff like that to her. I think she's got me mixed up with him or something. But, she called the cops on me and waited 13 hours after it happened. She should have called the cops that night. I know she sleeps with her phone with like a Lucky Charm. She told me she goes to bed, has the phone right there, right beside her. So why did she call the cops last night? Called the cops on Monday night when she said this stuff happened. Why didn't she call them right away? Why did she wait 12 hours, 13 hours after the fact? You see, that tells you something's wrong there. Very wrong. Because people like her that's scared and the ordeal she's been through with her husband trying to murder her and everything, she should have called the cops right then and there. Right away. Not waited 13 hours later. You got to understand, there's something very wrong with this girl. She lied about it and she made it all up. Okay? Because people usually when something like that happens, as scared as she is about everything, she should have called the cops right then and there, because people that are like that usually do it right away. They don't wait till the next day. Unless she had to get her lies straight, I don't know. Or she had to think about it and talk it to herself so she could word it right so that she could sound like she's telling the truth, because she's a trained liar like the other two. I don't know. But anyway, that's why they do that. I think it's why she waited so long. Because usually if somebody was knocking on my door and telling me and yelling, saying, you need a man in there, and they're trying to get in your door and all that, like she said, and telling her what she's wearing and proposition her. If I was doing all that, man, I would have called the cops that night. I wouldn't have waited till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon to call them. You got to know there's a train going on here that don't sound right, does it? It sounds like dementia to me, or some imbalance with the meds that she's on. That's why she's acting weird, I think. Truthfully. Because she is on a lot of medication, so, I do know that, because she's told me. She told me the meds that she's on, and she takes quite a bit of them. So it could have a lot to do with why she said these wild tales, a lot of it. And plus, she's also the other witness that's going to court. So these are the kind of witnesses that we got going to court. Boy, we're going to have a fun ride. We're going to have a pretty exciting show in there. Because these people can't even tell what they're doing or what they're saying because they're not stable. And Barbara, she's going off on everybody left and right, you know what I'm saying? So, I think we're going to have a pretty easy win here, because what she did over here with these other tenants is not helping her case. So anyway. But like I said, when you got these clowns being witnesses, I tell you what, no wonder why they call it the circus court. You got a bunch of clowns coming up in there. They're not really good witnesses or good shades of character anyway, mentally, or anything. So I don't know what the world they're going to help benefit this lady, because they're not even stable. None of them are stable. If you talk to them, you'll pick up on that. But anyway, like I say, we'll just see what happens. But it's just crazy. All the cards are coming down. I think they're just all squirming. Because by policy, cops come out to check out something. Even though I didn't do any of this stuff to Miriam Tate, Miss Miriam Tate, she just kind of manufactured it all, because she really did. Because I wasn't even here at the time when she told the officer that it happened. I was at the store down there at Bassmart. I stayed down there until about 3 o'clock in the morning. 3:30, 3 o'clock, and then I came back home, went right to my apartment. That was it. On Monday night. And it's kind of weird how all this window knocking happened, the night before Mr. Piper came. Isn't that weird? It's like, the Grinch stole Christmas. It's like all this weird knocking and weird activity started up again. Right before Mr. Piper came to visit us. Isn't that weird how that happened? I find that weird too myself. I wonder if anybody else has figured that out. But anyway, I'll leave that to you. It's Michael DeSilva and the news update. Take care, everyone.